I want to talk about what I say not mattering. So a few years ago, I posted a video where I said like what you say doesn't matter, and then post a video here saying what you say does matter and everything does matter. But like I kind of I kind of think that what I said personally didn't matter a few years ago, and for the most part, what I say doesn't exactly matter because I'm not like a credible individual. I've lost a lot of honor, respect, and reputation in many communities. I don't have a solid side. I don't have I don't have a solid side. I'm way too humble. Um, you know, uh, even talking like my voice, all these things. But also, I'm just trying to say like the comments that I made, like some things I said are pretty wicked and grotesque in the words of the manner, which is why I'm not the leader of the country. I'm not a leader. I'm not the leader of like anything, and I don't want to be the leader. I don't want to be the guy who controls everything, because it's way too much responsibility uh, and I'm not the one. I'm not the leader. I'm not the one capable of leading and controlling people's lives, and I don't do that. But what my end goal is like uh, you know like my end goal is just to to permeate a message. And thing is like I acknowledge some of the things I said, like the N word, nutter for like just for context, or the three-lettered KKK. I mean, I don't know if it was out of frustration or not. Again, like what you say, if it matters or not. I think some people would take definite offense to what I said there, whether whether or not you can say it. Um, but like you know, obviously it's if you take it way too literal. But then again, it's like if we all of a sudden generalize and say that nothing that we say matters, then nothing that we say matters, because then like, because I mean, at the end of the day, it is just words and sounds, right? You can get offended, you could not. But if you build an emotional impulse to every word, then I think that's where the issues start to come in. I have very poor emotional responses because there's so much happening and I'm not even sure what's going on. And again, that goes back to me saying I don't know. But those comments that I made were like they were out of pure ignorance. They're out of pure ignorance, but also frustration. I mean, the KKK, they wear their like their bathrobes or their towels or bed sheets, and the women with the hijabs are wearing it too. And I guess they have something in common with each other. I'm not a stand-up guy. I'm not a stand-up comedian, but like, you know what I mean, right? And like, you know, uh, I think they can get along. There's a good reason why they have it, and um I don't advocate or speak for any person, And again, like people, like they laugh at me and all that. It's all on purpose that somebody. Again, I could argue that somebody with a crack pipe was intentionally just hoping somebody would mess up, somebody would say something, somebody would slip up, and that's it. And it's as easy as that. And I don't need to see or hear them, other than the fact that they they have their secret spot, and they're just waiting for someone to mess up so they could invent something or say something that's on upon me. um I mean, I don't think like this on a 24/7 365 basis, but like it is the truth, like in regards to like uh it is the truth in regards to like um you know it is the truth in regards to what was said, what was done. Uh I mean, I don't endorse any like organization, but the reason the things I said at some point didn't matter is because A, I'm still working for money, and B, it at some point it doesn't matter what you say, because you will always come off as that. You always come off to people like that. Like you see these cars, for example, like if you have a certain car and it portrays certain emotion, like a can like a Camaro or like a Ford, like, and it's like a like they portray a certain character, right? If you know if the car is like like a Toyota or something, maybe it doesn't portray any character, which is why it's a shitty car. And the newer cars all built to be like, expendable. But you know like I said, like back in the day, like back in the day, like I mean, and so this is what I'm saying is like, uh like there's a certain character to it, obviously, which I have none. I know I have none because I came afterwards, which is horrifying and terrible, and it's unfortunate. But like, like I advocate for myself at the end of the day, and it wasn't about cars, it was about what I said. The character of me not talking and me showing up to like a college or something, not saying anything, um you know uh, and again, it goes back to like having an antenna, or having someone tell you what to say, what not to say, or knowing what to say in advance. The entire time you knew everything that was going to happen, you knew what you were there to say, you knew what your mission was. It's like you're on a quest, and the person just, they knew everything from the get-go. So there was no point in, there was no you know there's there's no point in trying when you're competing with someone like that, because it's not really fair that the person can predict the future and can act in this way and all that. um and this is why I argue about this car and this, that, and the other, because it's at some point, I don't have to say any of these things, and you could still come off that way, to certain people, like, especially if you're white, to like, the indigenous community, like they're always going to view you that way because of what happened in the past. So why not address it, like confront it, full, going full force, no stop, especially if you're anti-immigration and, you appear a certain way. You'll have these honest conversations and you might actually get somewhere, instead of, you know, uh, beating around the bush. I don't endorse violence. I don't endorse, those organizations. However, I find camaraderie anywhere I go, and I was desperate for friends, and I still am. Um, like so like, and this is why I say, like, it's not really fair. It's not really, just to take advantage of, like, chaos and drama and all that. But then again, it's like I'm not that competent, and again, it all goes back to history, because historically, like, that's what happened, right? If you were to look away from that, and, and you, like, if history was nicer towards, like the white people, and maybe things would have been different, but I don't know. Like, uh maybe it could have been a slip up. It's a slip up. I'm not the leader of the country. I'm not even a bureaucrat. I'm a modern day bureaucrat because it demands me of that. But I'm by no stretch of the imagination am a I'm not the leader of the country, so I can't command people what to do. And if the person wants to do something that I tell them, like to pee outside in public, or I don't know, steal a shopping cart, like they might do it out of spite, just so that they said, oh, he told me to do it, and so therefore, he could stretch it, and with the legal system, he'll stretch it and he'll say he told me to do it. So he's gonna be like, he's gonna use that, and he's gonna blame me, and then he's gonna might say he had a mental condition or something. Nowadays, it seems like everyone who has a mental condition gets a free card. But like, again, I didn't endorse this. I don't endorse any behavior of any kind. And it's a tragedy it's come to this point. Like, uh I'm like, uh like in the beginning, like I spoke with, I mean, like I said, like, uh like race based violence is never acceptable, but like it happened already, right? And I'm gonna be honest, a bunch of people dressing up in the bed sheets it is hilarious. Like, I still find it kind of hilarious. Of course, I'm curious, like, what prompted that, like occultism. But also it's because of the situation that was happening. There's a slip up of the moment. I don't know if people forgive people anymore. um you know uh I don't know if people forgive people anymore. They might not forget, or all that, but I say no regrets to myself, to live forward. But the thing is like the guy, like, what's his name? Like, I was blaming certain people in downtown Toronto, I guess from the Regent Park neighborhood, who were actually shooting each other, and it's tragic, it's horrible, and there's a whole bunch of systemic issues. But the thing is like systemic issues, right? And then they're gonna say, well, who's to blame? Who was the one supposed to helping them with the math homework or the English, or poverty and all that? And then I point back to my mom, right? Back to Jennifer Pan. It all goes in circle. Everything I say makes sense. These people keep coming for me because it's like I can't even figure out my life. I can't even build my life here, and it's permanently screwed over because my mom doesn't seem to take me or my problems seriously. I think she still sees me as a child. She doesn't see me as a grown man who actually can have grown man issues, and so these videos continue to be necessary. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna make a part 2.